he won't fight GSP, but GSP was fighting people in the Falcon and the Winter Soldier this week and smiling while he was doing it. Yes.
Yeah, shouts out to GSP. He's back in the Marvel Cinematic Universe for the second time.
Yes.
And he fucking... It brought a smile to my face as the MMA fan. Because it was just surprising.
Yeah.
Like, it was surprising. Like, oh, shit, GSP's back. And once again, he played the same villain that he played before. And him and the Falcon that got into it. GSP, this time, he didn't get his ass whooped like he did with Captain America. But it was cool, you know. And speaking of the show, I think everybody should watch this fucking show. It's 10 times better than WandaVision. Already out the gate. More action. It seems like the story is about to be like, oh shit, okay. Like they introduced a cool character at the end of the episode. So Falcon and Winter Soldier, everybody watch that. It's a good recommendation.
Yeah, man. I was enjoying it, watching it, and like I thought that just overall it just seemed like a better show. I thought it was cool how they're like introducing certain things. Like I don't want to get too far into spoilers right now, but like some of the characters and like, you know, factions that they're introducing are like little lore from the comic books. And like, I'm really into the comic book shit. So like, to me, that was like interesting. So I had a good time watching it. You know, I enjoyed it a lot.
Check it out, Spence.
Yeah,
we know you didn't watch that show.
Yeah.
You don't even have to try and lie about it. It's okay.
Yeah. No, there's nothing to lie about. The truth, I haven't watched it. I'll find some time to try to check it out eventually. Like I said, I've been wrapped up in Snowfall. So.
Oh, I started watching that, by the way.
Oh, you did?
I did.
What you think so far?
You know what, man? I'm gonna continue watching it. It's not so bad. I can't even lie. I was just like, oh shit, like it's kind of interesting.
How far what episode are you on?
I can't remember. I can't tell you. I was sitting there chilling the other night. You know, I don't know, man.
Got you. But I actually got to go back and rewatch season 1 because a lot of season 4, the main character Damon, I think his real name is Damon Idris. Mm-hmm. He even said like he suggested everybody go back to watch season 1 just because a lot of season 1 is taking place in season 4. So. Yeah, so it's a crazy story. This storyline so far, anybody listening that has watched it, I definitely suggest you go back and watch the first season because there's a lot of things I remember from season 1 that are showing their face again in season 4. So I don't know. It's a good show though. I'm telling you, man, you gonna like it. Just wait till like you get to. If you make it to season 2, you're gonna watch it. You'll be at season 4 before you know it.
You're gonna like his uncle. That's what I'll say. His uncle's funny.
Here's a little cheap plug or whatever. So both stars of Falcon and Winter Soldier and Snowfall, Anthony Mackie and who's that guy? Damon
Idris.
Shouts out to him. They both are starring in a Netflix movie as well that just came out a little bit ago. They're both part of the military, some kind of futuristic war story.
Oh, what's up?
They're both on Netflix. So, you know, greatness meets greatness, and they start together to make more greatness. So I can't remember the movie name, but it's on Netflix right now, and it did come out this year. So it is a new product. So they're just winning. And shouts out to both good brothers for winning.
Yeah, definitely. I have to check it out. I did see him. I did see something about that on his Instagram page. So I have to go check it out. I'll definitely have to check that out because I'll say this from what I've seen in this show so far. He's a really great actor. All these young actors that I forget some of their names, but a lot of them have like a high esteem for him as well. And he's another one of those UK actors that just plays an American very well. So, I mean, there's something in the water over there. Something in the water as well as like they take theater a little bit differently than America. So, but yeah, it's really interesting.
Speaking of that, I don't want to switch topics crazily. You know the little beef that's been going on between Black American actors versus Black UK actors, right?
I've heard about it, yeah.
This shit to me is fucking yeah, man.
There's a thing.
There's the thing. The shit is bizarre.
So
They're both. I'm like, yo, they're brothers from across the seas, and they're doing well. What the fuck?
some people are having a problem with some of these UK actors because they're coming over and playing American roles.
Okay.
Exactly.
But see, my thing is this. At the end of the day, I understand, I get that. But at the same time, I also would say this personally. For someone to come over from their country where they speak their native language, even though UK is very similar to English, right? But it's an accent.
Correct.
For them to be able to play an actor, play an American, definitely in this case for Damon Idris, he's playing someone out of the 80s, a drug dealer out of the 80s that's based out of like South Central or Compton or something like that. To play that, and then at the same time when you hear him off camera, he sounds like a Brit. It's very interesting. Like, to me, I think those actors are extremely talented. That's all it is.
I agree with you, man. I agree with you. Like the whole Samuel L. Jackson thing when he was hating on John Boyega, I'm like, that's crabs in the bucket mentality shit.
He hated on John Boyega. I've been out of the loop of this.
Yeah, so you know how John Boyega, his breaking role was Star Wars. You know, he did the Star Wars trilogy. Right. He was, hey, first time black guys get on the face of Star Wars. Well, not a lot of people know that the dude was from the UK, unless you followed his career. But if you didn't know, you just thought like, oh, that's the black guy from Star Wars. You think he was American. Well, Samuel L. Jackson wasn't happy the dude was from the UK and playing an American role. And I'm just kind of like, that's crabs in the bucket mentality, bro. Like, you should be happy for the brother. Like, obviously they pulled him because he's very fucking talented. Damn, from where he's from, Like, it's not like the UK, the UK is more white than, like, no, man. This guy, he deals with racism like we deal with racism. You know what I mean? So, like, he's a good actor. Like, I don't get it. Like, I don't know. I just thought that shit was weird. But, shouts out to the dude from Snowfall, for doing this thing. Shouts out to Anthony Mackie.
Yeah, the shout outs to all of them, man. Definitely shout outs to all of them because they're doing a phenomenal job when it comes to this acting thing. But even then, like, you have what's his name? Idris Elba. Idris Elba. I think people fell in love with him in terms of like his acting and stuff like that when he was on The Wire. No one even knew he was from he was overseas.
That's true.
At the end of the day, you have someone that is breaking down a door, kicking down a door, making a way for more actors that look like you to get further. And also on top of it, it inspires kids that watch this stuff that say, hey, I want to be an actor now. Like for us, when we were growing up, you only had Denzel Washington, Will Smith, Samuel Jackson, Wesley Snipes, and a handful of others. But now you have like a wider array of actors. Some of them come from overseas. There's nothing wrong with that.
And to piggyback on your point from like back in the day, the actors and the legends, I would like to call them, that you listed, they played particular movie roles, not because they're limited actors themselves, but these were the roles that was geared toward them. Now you see the actors, brothers who are actors today, they're in a wide span of shit. They're doing every genre. The fact that, because back in the day, let's be real, late 90s, early 2000s, the 80s, 70s, Star Wars, it was headlined by white people, right? And I'm not saying that to be all like fucked up in color, race, and all that, but that's just what it was. Most sci-fi movies, it was just Caucasian people. That's all it was. You might have a black actor here, black actor there, but they were not the focal point of these movies. So the fact that you have John Boyega, a black man from the UK, who is, hey, he's one of the main focal points of this current Star Wars trilogy, that's a big deal as far as like black actors. Like, hey, we're getting in spaces that we weren't normalized being in back in the day. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying John Boyega should be the face of Star Wars or nothing like that. I'm not saying that at all. But just for like black people, it just shows like, hey, we could play in every role, and it's now happening now. So just because the dude came from the UK, that shit shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter at all. It should, can the guy fucking act? Yes. Okay, cool. And that's all that matters. So the whole crab in the bucket mentality of like, oh, he's not really American. Like, dude, like what? Like, that means nothing.
Barriers are being broken for minorities that get into acting in terms of like roles and limiting the amount of typecasting that happens, because I think a lot of actors we saw at one point being typecast, and you had some actors that were vocal about their experiences of like, hey, I had to turn down certain roles so I wouldn't be typecast as an actor. And we went as far as seeing, now you have someone like Michael B. Jordan, who's he's about to be in a Tom Clancy movie. And yep. I mean, we just call a spade. More than likely, if that movie is a success, that's probably going to be a trilogy type of movie, or a movie that just becomes a series that he'll probably be in for a long time. So it's one of those things where we just kind of got to like let it be and just kind of move forward. And granted, like when we speak about race, unfortunately, like on a darker note, unfortunate note rather, there was a hate crime that actually happened, and actually not too far from me, actually about 15, 20 minutes away from me. Over the last week, I believe it was 8 Asian people were killed from one single shooter that he had hit 3 different spots. Unfortunately, this is like a very sad thing. So it's just only thing I just want to say is like I really want to send my condolences to the families of the victims, and I hope that justice gets served in that situation.
Yeah, I think it's crazy that a motherfucker can, just because they're Asian people, he felt very angry and inclined. It felt like, hey, I'm going to do the world some justice by eliminating these people who are not bothering nobody. And I just, because of the fact of who they are and where they come from. And I believe that, Asian people should not be fucking targeted because they're fucking Asian. And I think that's fucked up. And for the guy to do what he did, hopefully he gets the books thrown at him. I mean, because you just can't just be killing people because they're fucking Asian. It's just, I think that's fucked up. You know what I mean? Kind of like what with us, you can't, why are we being targeted because of the color of our skin? You know what I mean? And racism goes across the board. It goes across the board. And this should show people like, hey, there is racist people out there. This isn't just black people boo-hooing and crying. No, motherfucker, like, no, racism is real. So now that Asian people were being targeted and shot at because they're Asian, hopefully that opens people's eyes more of like, hey, there is racist pricks out there. And they're willing to go so far above and beyond to kill because they don't like who that person is. It's crazy. That shit's crazy. Definitely RIP to the people that lost their lives and the families that have to go through that loss. Like, it's crazy, and I definitely feel for them because that shit is just traumatizing, and it's just wrong, man. This shit is wrong.
Yeah, I think it's unfortunate what happened, and like the dude, like as to the possible reasons he, went and murdered these people, and there's no good reason for that amount of people, to just be murdered in that type of way. Like, it's very, brutal and unfortunate. I don't really have much to add on to what you guys said, but sending support to the Asian community and, the things that, they're dealing with at the moment. It's unfortunate.
I hope that this situation doesn't push other people to feel as though like, hey, I should do the same, because at the end of the day, from one standpoint, we're all human, and we have to kind of get like things like this are just not justifiable, and it's just very unfortunate. So like I said before, prayers to the family. I send my condolences and to the families of the victims. I hope that justice does get served because it's just unfortunate. The situation was just very unfortunate, and yeah, that's all I have to say about it. Prayers to the families, man. Definitely prayers to the families. So
Did we have anything to get to before we head out? For the listeners.
No, I mean, the only thing is, listeners, we posted the MMA rankings, the first post last week. There's going to be another post this week. By the time this episode drops, it's already been posted. So continue to look forward to that, and leave your comments and leave what you think about that, whether you're into MMA or not. Just ask us a question. Hey, what does this all mean? And we'll be gladly to explain the shit to you. So just continue to look forward to that.
Yeah, even if you agree or disagree, let us know why you agree or let us know why you disagree, to be honest with you, because it's always good to be able to get that just to understand where the listeners are coming from with their own perspectives as well. So other than that, I don't have anything to really say. Stay tuned for new things that we got coming out. There is an album I do want people to check out if they get a chance. It's called Colorway by Destin Conrad. Really good album. Album I started listening to about 2 weeks ago. So if you get a chance, definitely listen to it. It's definitely a fire album, all in all. So other than that, I don't have much to say other than drink your water, wear your mask, and stay sanitized.
Listeners, you can follow us at Advise Highly on Twitter, Highly Advised Podcast on Instagram. Follow the YouTube page. Leave comments, like, subscribe, all those good things. You have been highly advised. We will see you guys next time. Have a good one.
Boom.
Yeah. You've been highly advised.